Welcome to the Unesh Value Train, where you are encouraged to follow your dreams as we hop on a space train into outer space. As far as your opening hand, wait, that doesn't make sense, I know. As far as your opening hand goes, yeah, I like it. We've got some good stuff. We have 3 islands in the hand. Yes, perform any opening hand. There we go, put it on the battlefield. I always get worried I'm going to mess that one up. But anyway, so we're getting down Ley Line of Anticipation, which is really going to help us kind of kick those value train engines into overdrive. We were playing Unesh, Criosphinx Sovereign. Flying whenever Unesh casts Sphinx spells you cast cost 2 less to cast. And let's go and get down Island. Actually, I'll go and lead off with, if we're trying to go for Worn Power Stone, yeah, I don't mind. Let's just go and get down Lonely Sandbar, put it into play tapped, and then we'll pass the turn to our opponent. So we have the official conductor of the Unesh Value Train, Mr. Unesh himself. Whenever Unesh or another Sphinx enters the battlefield under your control, factor fiction for 4, 1 pile into our hand, the other pile into our graveyard. Playing against Inalla, which I always enjoy playing against Inalla. Makes for a pretty fun match. Opponent's going to get down Stony Brook Banneret. Wizards cost 1 less to cast. All right, so we'll definitely keep that in mind. Let's go and get the island down, drawn to Glyph Keeper. And that is the, let's go and get down the island. And then, it's Curator of Mysteries. And then anything else, we'll go and pass the turn to our opponent. Playing against Inalla, whenever another non-token wizard enters the battlefield under your control, if Inalla is in the command zone or on the battlefield, you may pay 1. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that wizard. That token gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step, then tap 5 untapped wizards you control. Target player loses 7 life. And I've always enjoyed that ability off of Inalla. That's such like... I don't know, when you have tribal decks and you have the ability to tap down the tribe to kind of get some cool stuff going, it just always makes me, I don't know, I like seeing this. Kind of like, what's his name, the Crypt Breaker, being able to tap some zombies, and also Kumina, tap down some zombies to tap down some merfolk to get some card draw. I don't know, I just think it's pretty cool. All right, so we've got Stony Brook swinging in for 1. That's going to knock us down to 29. We'll go and cross off that Mana Crypt trigger from our opponent, and we draw into Alhamaret High Arbiter. Let's get down Island. Let's go and go for Worn Power Stone. And I've been recording some arena stuff, so if you see me try to slide the card onto the battlefield, like, what are you doing? That is it. But yeah, we've covered both commanders. It's free time. Hope you enjoy your time here on the Unesh Value Train. And also, before we kind of go deep into the video, I know there's a lot of space trains that you could take out into space, and Unesh and I greatly appreciate you deciding to ride on our space train into outer space to follow your dreams. You know, we do run a small family business, me and Unesh, and so having every single passenger that likes to ride with us, we certainly appreciate that. So I just always like to say that during each video, and hopefully today's ride is really nice. We go real far deep into outer space and get the value train going. Now, one of the win conditions for this deck is just overwhelming value. It's kind of hitting into hyperdrive, and that's why we get a ton of our Sphinxes on the battlefield, which is feels good. Let's go and get down Island, and that's going to be enough to get down Unesh. So let's go and go for that. Let's get the Unesh going. Get that factor fiction for 4, and let's see what sort of pile we've got. But going forward, as long as Unesh can stick around on the battlefield, we've got some good Sphinxes in the hand, which is going to allow us to kind of keep that chain going. Okay, now this is a very, very interesting pile. So Mindstone, Reliquary Tower, Island is pretty much exactly what you want, but I think in this matchup, if our opponent's going to swarm the board, they've got some really good mana going. I feel like, yeah, Cyclonic Rift is what we need to take. So good pile choice by our opponent. So we're going to grab Cyclonic Rift, and we're going to go and pass the turn to our opponent. Now, if they do have some sort of spot removal, we do have Pact of Negation in our hand, and we've got more than enough mana to pay for it. So we're just going to leave Pact of Negation up at this point right now. But at least for next turn, we're looking at Glyph Keeper for only 3 mana to get that factor fix going. And then with Alhamaret High Arbiter, we're going to be able to get him to enter the battlefield, and we can actually get them to reveal their hand. So that way it's kind of like the Thoughtseize Sphinx for the deck, which is always kind of fun to have. And that's the cool thing about this deck is you're running so many different Sphinxes in here, and they all have such just weird, unique abilities. In fact, we've got some new conductors or some new train assistants on the train. We have Dream Eater from Return to Ravnica, because hopefully Dream Eater can make an appearance today. That'd be kind of cool to see him. I don't know. I just love Dream Eater too, because it looks like a Dimir Sphinx, but the fact that it's mono blue and the art's so dark, I don't know. I just love that card, and it's also a really good way for us to kind of get some of those factor fiction piles. Would be really nice. We did add Riddle Master Sphinx, which is from M19. Dak Faden. Do we need to go for Pact of Negation on that? That's going to be some good card advantage. They're going to gain control of Worn Power Stone, which is really going to stop us from getting that going. Yeah, I think we need to. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Let's go for Pact of Negation. We're going to have the mana to pay for that, but yeah, if they end up going for that -2, gain control of our Worn Power Stone, that's going to be really hard for us to kind of make sure that we at least have that one-sided board wipe, or if we need to go for something like Cyclonic Rift. So I don't mind going for Pact of Negation on that one. And we definitely want to pay that pack trigger. So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. You don't want to forget about that. That's never good. Yes, we're going to pay that. And then let's see who we're drawn to. Drawn to Ponder. Okay, that's perfect. Let's go and get down Island. Let's go and push in with Unesh. That's going to knock them down to 26. And with them getting off to a little bit of a slow start, I'm almost tempted to go for Cyclonic Rift on Chromatic Lantern. Kind of has a little bit of a tempo play. Yeah, I think I like that. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Cyclonic Rift, simply just on that Chromatic Lantern, because they want to get down Inalla and then get a few extra wizards going. If we send that back to their hand, that's going to be a really nice way to kind of just chew up their turn. Maybe they need to go for Chromatic Lantern again, and that's definitely going to allow us to go for Ambassador, Glyph Keeper, or High Arbiter next turn and kind of get that going. We also did add Mirror Image, which is a wonderful card for the deck. It's 3 mana, basically a clone. It's going to enter the battlefield as any copy of creature that we control. And the good thing about Mirror Image is, let's say it is 3 mana, the only downside is that we don't get that reduced cost from Unesh, but there's times where we can actually get down Mirror Image, have it like enter the battlefield as a copy of Unesh. The legendary rule does apply, but thankfully with Unesh that we'll keep Unesh on the battlefield. We still get that Factor of Fiction trigger, which is basically what we're looking for. All right, so we got Trinket Mage and Stony Brook swinging in. That's going to knock us down to 23, and then we'll see what sort of pile we're going to go for. Might end up going for Glyph Keeper, or if we want to go for High Arbiter, just kind of see what our opponent's got going on in their hand, that might be a good option for us to go for. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for High Arbiter. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully we hit the land drop off of one of these piles, which will put us online for Glyph Keeper too. Okay, so at this point, they've got in their hand Prophets, Sad Robot, Is It Charm, Goblin Bombardment, and then Wills. And I think, I thought about maybe going for Wills, but I think I kind of like going for Sad Robot. Yeah, let's do that. Let's go for Sad Robot. That way we at least kind of force them not to be able to get an extra land on the battlefield. And when you're playing against Inalla, they've got a ton of good stuff in there. You kind of want to be as aggressive as possible. So get a little bit of a road rage going with the space train. So make sure you kind of buckle your seatbelts. Ooh, that is a beautiful pile. Let's see how they decide to split this one up. Okay, and let's just go and choose pile 1. We've got a ton of stuff. The big thing about this deck is we want to just get as much mana as possible on the battlefield. So let's go for Soul Ring. And it's also going to allow us to go for Shackle so we can actually gain control of some of our opponent's creatures too. Okay, they're going to go for that Is It Charm. Yeah, that's fine. If they're going to catch a Soul Ring off that, we'll definitely take that. It's going to go for Unesh swinging across. And that's one of the downsides. I wish they always pop the card up once we see it. But yeah, I'm okay with Soul Ring getting hit on that. It's going to swing in for 4. It's going to knock our opponent down to 22. And that will be 8 total commander damage that we've dealt. And they're going to kick the... Ooh, oh, man, we meant to go for Ponder. I was trying to hit the yield button off. But it's okay. We'll go for Ponder for next turn. But we do have Shackles in the hand. We get down Shackles. And that'll definitely allow us to... especially once we get our island land drops to about 5 or 6, that basically turns us online for whatever sort of creature that we do want to gain control of. And especially with the High Arbiter being on Sad Robot, hopefully that's going to keep them off any sort of land drop they need to go for. Okay, opponent's going to go for Bojuka Bog, exiling our graveyard. Not the end of the world. We don't really... And that's one of the things that always reminds me is... sometimes when we get these Sphinx or these Factor Fiction piles going, we need to get some sort of value going and some sort of safety valve. We need breaks for the space train. And all right, so they've got. We're gonna gain control. Oh, okay. So yeah, they did make. We maybe should have gone for Wills. So I'm gonna gain control of Unesh. Equal to the number of creatures that you control. Okay, so this is definitely gonna be interesting. But we can actually just go for Shackles and regain control of it. But we do need to do something with Wills to get that back. Yeah, let's go for Shackles. We gain control of Wills. And basically what we can do is we can gain control of, get back Unesh. It'll be a little bit of a turn later, but we can still gain control of Wills. That way we don't have to worry about that. Let's go and target Wills. Actually, let's get down Thran Dynamo first. Yeah, I completely forgot about the haste interaction where it's going to have haste. Yeah, that would have made a difference. So let's grab wheels. That way they can't gain control of another creature. Okay, so we've got wheels on our side of the battlefield. Yeah, we're going to miss out on that one colorless mana. Let's go and swinging for 5 in the air. That will knock them down to 14. I always love it when you have games that kind of go back and forth like that. Let's go and swinging with a High Arbiter. It's going to knock them down to 14, and then anything else we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. So next turn, we may end up having to go for Glyph Keeper just to kind of get our creature count up. But basically with wheels, gain control of target creature, power less than equal to the number of creatures you control. So we need to get to, yeah, because power is less than or equal to. So we need to get at least 4 creatures on the battlefield to take advantage of Unesh. But hopefully between Ponder and Brainstorm, we can really kind of stir up some stuff to maybe help us get Unesh back to our side of the battlefield just a little bit quicker. Okay, 6 is coming in. That's going to knock us down to 17, and that will be 4 total commander damage. And they get down Goblin Bombardment. So if they do end up sacrificing Unesh, that's fine. That's going to get rid of Wheels too. But it'll still keep us in a position to where whatever sort of creature they get down, we can hopefully still grab them with Shackles. Okay, so they end up sacrificing Goblin Bombardment to go for Wheels, which is not too bad. We can still get around that. And then we'll go and untap Shackles since they did go for that activation. And then we draw 2 islands. Let's go and get down island. Let's go and swing in for 5. And well, actually, with Falcon Wrath Noble, do we want to force the issue of gaining control of that? Oh, they did. Excuse me. They did sacrifice Unesh too. So let's go and get down Unesh. That's going to be 8 total mana. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And that still gives us at least 3 more mana to work with. We can actually flash in Glyph Keeper or Sphinx Ambassador. Yeah, and we can actually flash it in with a Leyline of Anticipation. So let's do this. Let's just go and swing it for 5. Let's see if they want to go for the Shackles block, if they want to go for Falcon Wrath Noble block, and then we'll decide what we're going to do with Shackles. Okay, we're going to see Falcon Wrath Noble block. Let's see if they're going to go for Goblin Bombardment. And that's really cool. I need to build. I keep thinking every time I play against Inalla, I'm reminded I need to build it because you can totally go with an Aristocrats build once you get all these Wizards tokens going. So that's pretty cool. Then anything else now, we're going to pass the turn to our opponent. Now, what we can do is, do we want to force this during their upkeep? They've only got 2 cards in the hand. So what? Let's go and go for Unesh. So we're going to flash in Unesh during their upkeep. That way, if they got some sort of counter magic, maybe they need to use it. If not, we can start to get some good stuff going. And this could be High Tide, Panharmonicon, and Cage Sun. That is definitely a good way to get the value train going with both of those options. All right, so we're going to go and take pile 2. Yeah, I like that. I like pile 2. So yeah, let's take that. So we're going to take pile 2. That's going to go into the hand. We can High Tide to get down some extra mana for us, but that's only going to be 4 mana for the turn. And that still gives us access to flashing in Glyph Keeper. So what? Let's just go and pass the turn. Let's get the mana crypt going for them, and we'll see what else they end up going for. But at least at this point, we can still flash in if we wanted to go for High Tide and then flash in Panharmonicon. We can certainly do that. Now, if I didn't take advantage of Leyline of Anticipation earlier in the game, I'm usually not used to playing with Leyline of Anticipation, so if you're wondering, hey, Jolt, why did you do this during your main phase? That's pretty much it. I kind of forgot about it. Champion of Merfolk, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, you may sacrifice a Merfolk if you do take an extra turn after this one. And they will have the extra haste option. At least we're going to be able to block with Unesh, and we can block with Glyph Keeper. And we'll have to go for the Champion of Merfolk ability, but we'll see who they decide to choose off of this. Okay, it's just simply sitting at a full 4. Let's see if they decide to swing in, or basically going to flash in Glyph Keeper once they do decide. Okay, they are swinging in. Let's go and flash in Glyph Keeper. That's going to be 1, 2, 3. We got the security for the train. He heard there's a merfolk that's being real rowdy. I'm going to go investigate in the back of the caboose. All right, so we'll get another pile going. At this point right now, we'll pretty much grab Homeward Path would be a really good thing for us to go for. That way we gain control of some stuff, and we'll go into, that's a really good utility pile, so we'll choose that pile. Let's go for the block on Glyph Keeper. And they will get that extra trigger if they want to pay that 1 mana. They could basically just make a copy of it and get some sort of extra Goblin Bombardment activation if they want to do that. Okay, that will put us down to 14 once they get that. We do need to watch out for the Goblin Bombardment. That's going to be a pretty good option for us. Now, one thing that we can do is if we want to go for Shackles to gain control of something like Trinket Mage, that'll definitely allow us to kind of swing in for a little bit extra combat damage. All right, we draw to Jace the Mind Sculptor. It's going to get down Temple of the False God. At this point right now, if we end up going for High Tide, that's going to be 10 mana. That is going to be a ton of mana. Yeah, let's go for that. We're going to get the... This is your captain speaking. If you're not wearing your seatbelt, it would be a good option time for you to put on your seatbelt. The captain has turned on the turbulence sign, so please sit tight. All right, so let's go and get down Panharmonicon. Oh, here we go. And at this point right now, we're just hoping to get into some sort of counterspell. We do have Pact of Negation in here. No, excuse me, we use Pact for Dak Fade. We do have we have Force of Will. That's another good thing for us to get these Sphinxes going. So let's go ahead and go for Jace. Actually, let's get the Sphinx Ambassador going first. At this point right now, we're just looking for some sort of pile that's going to give us enough Sphinx to kind of keep them going on the battlefield. Stubborn Denial, wonderful draw. Let's go and choose pile 2. Let's get the extra Factor Fiction going. Ooh, Rite of Replication. Okay, we're definitely going to choose pile 2. And unfortunately, I think we're 1 mana away. No, actually, excuse me, yeah, we can get Rite of Replication. That's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So unfortunately, we can't go for Rite of Replication Kick. But if we want to, we can go for... there will be Sad Robot left in their hand. Let's go for a Quick Ponder. Ooh, then we draw into Dream Eater. Okay, let's go ahead and go for Cryptic Command, put Island on top, and let's put Dream Eater on top. Let's go and go for Dream Eater. We're going to get the Surveil for 4, too. And look at these beautiful Surveil for 8. Oh. Okay. Whenever it's the battlefield, we can return target permanent back to the hand. So we'll at least go and bounce something back. Let's go and put that to, Force of Will, we want that on top. Let's go and put that into the graveyard. And let's go and put that on top of our library, on top. And let's go and bounce back Stony Brook. Okay, opponent's going to scoop it up on that one. I don't blame them. This is pretty much what Unesh wants to do, is get down Panharmonicon, then you start getting these enter the battlefield triggers that are absolutely nuts. Good game to our opponent. I know they were kind of mana screwed just for a little bit, but you can see the power of Unesh, especially once we get that value train going into overdrive into outer space. You get a ton of value. You're going to get those double, and especially just getting double Factor Fictions per turn. This does remind me, you can see where we need to get some sort of safety valve of shuffling our library, our graveyard back into our library. But yeah, hope you enjoyed your time on the Unesh value train. Not much else to talk about. Glad we got to see Dream Eater. It's always nice to see a Nightmare Sphinx in the brand new Unesh deck. So if you enjoyed your time on the space train, like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye.